Everybody, welcome to Jaguar Studio here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm the AFG Council 100 Secretary Treasurer and also the local 1040 President at DFW International. And I'm here with James Mudrock. He's a leader in the union. He's at local 1260, and he's going to be our special guest today to talk about privatizations. Hey, James, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and a little of your history, and then we'll go into some questions.
Hi, Johnny. Thanks for having me on. I have been a TSA officer coming up on 21 years now. Been a union member since about 2 minutes after I found out I could join. It was basically like, I can be a member? Hand me that clipboard. I was the first president of Local 1230 when we chartered back at the end of 2011. I remained in that position until we merged with Local 1260 at the end of last year. At the time, I was the longest serving local president in Council 100 and maybe in all of AFGE for all I know. Within a few months after we chartered our union, our local back in 2012, we immediately were hit with the fact that Sacramento's airport director had requested to go to the SPP program. So we had to jump into that very quickly.
Hey, James, so now let's talk about that. So what did you do back then to stop privatization at the Sacramento airport? So everybody understands how that worked out for you.
Well, to begin with, at Sacramento, they have an airport director who at the time was someone who became my arch enemy. In order to get approval to apply for SPP, he had to go through the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors. What he did was, instead of holding public hearings or putting this out in public at all in the sunlight, he put the request on the consent calendar. Nobody pays attention to the consent calendar. The consent calendar is basically for how much toilet paper should we order this month. Okay, here it is. Any objections? Okay, fine. Sign it off and pass it along. So we didn't find out about it until the county board had actually approved the request and sent it to TSA headquarters. So we were fighting off our back foot from the beginning. We immediately reached out to allies. I was actually at the meeting where we chartered Council 100 when it happened. So we had a lot of AFGE in the room. We reached out to upper echelons of AFGE who were right there and got their support. We reached out to our local Central Labor Council and got their support, which was an incredible move for us, because without them, I don't think we would have survived. And we went out and started meeting with the county board members and trying to show them the error of their ways. We started meeting with them one by one. The county board member who actually had the airport in his district is also my county board member. So we started with him. He became our champion and guided us through the rest. This process took about a year. Now,
so you guys got it all done, and it took it like a year to stop it.
It took about a year to stop it. A year of meetings, a year of reaching out, a year of not knowing where we were standing. Finally, we had a county board meeting called, it was a general meeting, but they brought up on the agenda the SPP and whether they should revoke their request. I testified. We had representatives of the pilots union and the flight attendants union. They're testifying for us. We had some other people testifying for us, and we wound up winning on a vote of 5-1 to rescind it. I think it would have been unanimous, except that one of the county board members decided she would want to stick it to the Labor Council secretary and voted against us.
Well, when you say that, there's 435 airports. So if this was to happen across the country, it would be a tremendous amount of work. And so this was just one airport out of the 435 that we have. And so, with all that happening, James, what would you think about the future of the agency and how we're going to handle that?
Well, Johnny, this is by far the biggest threat we've ever faced. In the past, efforts to privatize through SPP have been very piecemeal. One airport's tried it, and then maybe another one here or there. I know we had, besides Sacramento, we had Orlando. We had a few others. We were able to shoot those down pretty quickly, and we were able to focus on them because it was one at a time. Right now, they're trying to flood the zone. Right now, it's another attempt to use the resources of the federal government to overwhelm us. So they're trying legislatively to mandate that Cat 3s and Cat 4s must become federal. It must become privatized. They're also going out at people are thinking, well, it's the Cat 3s and Cat 4s, but they are also going directly after the larger airports, the Cat 1s and the Cat X's. We found out just the other day that they've got success in getting Atlanta to study privatization. I've heard about a couple other airports as well, Charleston, South Carolina, and a few others. This is bad.
Yeah, Atlanta's the biggest one, James, the busiest airport in the United States. And if they're trying to privatize the busiest one, then just imagine what they would do at the other ones.
Well, it's interesting because what we found out is that the Atlanta City Council member who pushed this resolution through, turns out, guess what? He owns a private security company.
Oh, wow.
Who would have thought that would happen? This whole thing, and that was the case at Sacramento too. We found out in the process of investigating that the airport director at the time, his wife had investments in private security. What this is a scam being run on the people of the United States. It's a cash grab. It's an attempt to funnel federal money into the pockets of Trump donors.
And profiteers.
They're profiteers. That's all they are.
And I want to say thanks to Mr. James Mudrock out of Local 1260 for getting on the show today and talk about privatization. We're going to have more videos with more panels, and I'm sure we're going to see James back because James is one of the few people that actually stopped privatization from happening at an airport in which he was in. And I just want to say thanks to James and Local 1260 for getting on the show today. Thank you very much, James.
Thanks for having me, Johnny.
All right, man. We'll see you on the next time. And thanks for coming in. This is Jaguar Studios signing out. We'll hope to see more people talking about this privatization effort that's being taken upon us. And signing out, guys.